What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Hunter Mountain. So in a minute the actual video will start. I actually recorded this after the activation. I hiked down, I'll hike up there in a minute and you can see this lean-to that I hiked down to on the way back down the mountain. But I hiked down to this lean-to and I'm glad I did, because this is a cool spot to camp, and let me show you why. So there's the lean-to. We'll hike up there in a second. The hike down to this lean-to is kind of sketchy. However, look at this view. And you can see this from the lean-to, so you could literally lay in the lean-to and see this view. Let me get you up a little higher. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. So let me collapse this stick here. So let's, it's a little sketchy walking down here. And like you come down to the edge and I don't really feel like falling down there because I don't feel like dying today. Like I said, so the activation will start in just a minute. It's not super exciting. You'll see in a minute that I was running a pretty inefficient setup, and that was on purpose. This was going to be a quick in and out because it was super windy and super cold up there. But let me hike up here to the lean-to. I got to remember not to do leg day the day before I do these big mountain hike ups, because yeah, this was miserable. So here's the lean-to. This is a cool spot to camp, so you know you can literally set your stuff up in right here, and that's your view when you wake up in the morning. Heck yeah. You got the fire pit. Pretty cool. So yeah, the hike down to this lean-to, it's a little sketchy. Let me show you why. So this is and I'm not going to hike up it on camera because it's way too sketchy to do, but this this is the trail. You can go one of two ways. You can go up through the rocks here and up, which is tight, or the way I came down. This is the John Robb lean-to, I believe is what it is, and there's the outhouse. So if you ever do camp here, there are facilities here. So for those of you who don't want to have to dig a hole in the ground, there is an outhouse. That's the trail. I'm not kidding. You can see up there on the tree, you'll see the yellow trail markers. The trail goes up through these rocks and then way up there, and it's wicked steep. So like I said, let me I'm gonna go back down and take a look at that view again for a minute. I'm not gonna do that on camera, but I'll be back in just a minute. Like I said, I'm actually recording this after the activation. So in a minute here, we'll be up at the summit, and we'll get on the air and see if we can make a couple of contacts. So with that being said, stick around and I will be back in just a minute. What is going on, everybody? And welcome to W2GC002 Hunter Mountain. It is very, very windy up here, and it is very, very cold. I was not prepared for it to be this cold. It was supposed to be in the mid-70s today. It is currently about 12:25. The sun is just starting to peek through. I'm not climbing that fire tower today. It is so windy, you can hear the thing moving around. You can actually see it moving from the ground when the wind gusts. So I'm not going up there today. I might climb up a little ways, but it is windy, windy, windy. To give you an idea how cold it is, like I said, it's supposed to be in the mid-70s today. I don't know if you can read that thermometer, but it is currently about 55 degrees. I'm wearing a t-shirt because I was not expecting it to be this cold up here. I almost brought a jacket and I didn't because I'm an idiot. I was wrapped up in a shemagh earlier, so I'm not freezing to death, and I did just hike up a mountain. So before I started recording, I actually got 3 2-meter contacts. So I worked he worked me, WB2 FUV, that's Mike. He's a summit to summit. He was on Summit 115 here in the Catskills. NP2GG called me. He was walking on a rail trail. And then KC2 WLR called me. He was on GC038. So I had 2 summit to summits right at the front, right at the get-go, and then one just guy. Well, like I said, I called out on the repeater and said I was up here, and he said he was on the rail trail walking close by here. So he called me back when I hopped over on Simplex. But anyway, it is like I said, it's very windy and very cold. I was going to put a random wire up on the fire tower. I'm not sure I'm going to. I might just set up with the, I've got the AX2 with me today. I really only need one contact in order for this to be a valid activation now. I might hop back on 2 meters in a little bit, we'll see. But I think I can probably pull off at least one contact on 20 meters here. So it is super cold. So let me get everything set up here. I'll get the radio set up. I'll get the camera all set up, and then we'll get on the air. We'll see if we can make up a couple of contacts. It might be a little slow today. It is the middle of the day in June, and you know how that goes. And I'm going to be on a really compromised antenna. Worst comes to worst, like I said, I do have a random wire in here. I could sort of string it up on the fire tower and see if we can make some contacts that way. But I want to see if I can get a couple on the AX2 and call it a day. So let me get that set up, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so we're back. I forgot my good... Well, I've got the good mic, but I forgot the the attachment for this camera. So hopefully this works okay. It is very windy up here. I've got the wind reduction on the camera, but we'll see how it goes. I'm on the KX2 today. This is actually Aaron Bowman W4ARB's old KX2. So I've got two of them now, and Aaron has two 705s because I traded my 705 for his KX2. So he loves the 705. I love the KX2. Now we both have two of each. So like I said, I got 3 contacts in the log already, so I really only need one more. So let me go ahead and call CQ here and see what we can see. I'm not sure what band conditions are like. We'll see. Like I said, I really only need to get one. So we'll see what happens. Turn out. Man, this antenna's getting blown all around, and this is not the sturdiest thing in the world. All right, we'll see what happens here. So these are all 2 meter FM. Now we're going to 20 meters CW. And it's currently 16, 30, 39, 16, 30, 16. Okay, let's call CQ and see what happens. You're going to see this antenna getting blown all over the place. Like I said, it is super windy. I have no idea what band conditions are like. I've got miserable cell service up here, so I can try to check solar conditions with. Ooh, that's cold. I'm sure I'm hitting the RBN. Not sure if I can check. Oh yeah, no, that's 40 meters. I don't want that. Okay, I just hit the RBN. one hit into Canada. That's Eric, 429. Well, it's a valid activation now. Listen to that QSB. Oklahoma. Well, we've got a valid activation, so that's the important part. Ooh, this wind. Oh, I don't want to do that. I think that's SOTA. I think it's number 2 is SOTA. Yep. Like I said, this may not be too exciting. Somebody was there. Somebody sent a question mark. There was somebody there. Like I said, this might not be the most exciting activation ever. It's the middle of the day in June, so the bands are not amazing. I don't have this little tiny antenna, but we'll see what happens. We'll call CQ. That's what I was expecting. North Carolina. Well, that's 3. There's a KC7 in there. Oh, somebody's calling SKCC right on top of me. All right, we got a QSY. Somebody's calling CQ right on top of me. So we will QSY up a couple. That's obnoxious. I'm sure he couldn't hear me though. I'm a pea shooter. Of course, now I had to QSY. Nobody's gonna know where I am. Okay, I just hit the RBN. Camera how windy it is, but it is bad. Well, we'll see what happens. Oh, the sun came out. That feels so good. We'll see if we can get a couple more. If we can't, we can't. Like I said, it's a valid activation. This is a 10-point summit, so I definitely wanted to make sure this was a valid activation. A failed activation on a 10-point summit would be miserable. Well, we'll call CQ for a little bit. Somebody just called QRL on this frequency. It's SKCC, guys. I might have to move way down to get out of there. I'm in the 1450, 14056. That's SKCC range. I might need a QSY way down. I should have gone into 30s or something. Oh, here comes the wind. There's somebody in there. Oh, we'll call CQ a few more times. See what happens. If we don't get any more, we don't get any more. I mean, that was only 3 on camera, but this could be a short one. They don't even need to be an hour long. We'll try to get 1 or 2 more, though. I don't know if we will. Like I said, it's the middle of the day. I'm on this little pea shooter with 10 watts. Then maybe what I'll do is I'll walk you around so you can kind of see the area up here. Because if you ever come up here, this is a cool place to come. The hike up isn't super fun, but it's cool once you're up here. The clock on this radio is 2 minutes fast. I'm gonna have to adjust it. Well, that might be all she wrote. Let it beacon for a minute here. My wife's making fun of me because I said it's so cold up here. She's like, I guess you should have gone on a 90-degree day. It's supposed to be in the 90s next week. Should go automatically. Nope, it didn't. Should have beaconed. That's all right. Somebody was there. Somebody was there. That was a strong signal too. Ooh, that wind. Trying to make sure this antenna doesn't fall over. It's a good thing I didn't bring the full-size vertical up here. Carrying that great big vertical all the way up this mountain and having it be this windy, there's no way you could use that thing up here. We can hear that fire tower rattling around, but well, we'll call CQ one or two more times. If we don't get any bites, we don't get any bites. Just out of curiosity, let's see if I can see what my, oh, that's cool. Let's see if I can see what my RBN looks like. I don't know how long Aaron had the delay on this thing, but God, this wind is unreal. Can you hear that fire tower? Oh, man. God, the cell service up here is miserable. I'm trying to check. I've got people messaging me and I can't read them because I know there's people trying to work me. All right, one more. All right, I think that's all she wrote. Okay, let's kill the radio. Let's put this antenna down so it doesn't get blown over. I mean, like I said, I'm using a tiny little antenna, 10 watts. Oh, it is cold up here. All right, so real quick, let's walk everybody around so you can kind of get a feel for what's up here. This is one of the cooler places if you come up to any of the fire towers because there's a lot of room up here. A lot of them, there's not much room at the summit. This one has quite a bit. So let me kind of walk you around. You can get a feel for what this is like up here. So like I said, this is Hunter Mountain. This is W2GC002. So when you come up the oh, that's my counterpoise. I'm like, what's stuck to my leg? When you come up the main trail, you come out over here, you'll see a sign back there, and you come up from the back of the cabin here, and there's two picnic tables, and there's the fire tower. Like I said, I don't know if you can see how windy it is up there, that dude up there. What's going on, boss? You can see how windy it is up there. I don't know if you can see his clothes blowing around or not, but it is very, very windy up here at the summit. That's pretty typical. Although now the sun's coming out, it's not as cold as it was. When I got here, it was brutally cold. So at any rate, that wasn't a super exciting one, but it's a valid activation. We got 6 in the log. Only need 4 for SOTA. So, you know, we're good to go. So we got 3 on 2 meters and 3 on 20 meters. I mean, I'll take what I can get. On that little antenna, there's not much else you can do. If I put up a real antenna, we probably would have gotten some more stations. But at any rate, it got the job done. So that one's not super exciting, but at any rate, we got her done. So thank you everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, as always, 7-3.